Hello there, this is Phil Duke Jr. with Realty Executives, and this is another episode of the Knowledge Round. Today we're going to cover the closing process. So maybe you're a buyer who you've gone out and looked at houses, you've written an offer, and you're not really sure what happens next. Or maybe you're a seller and you've received an offer, you've accepted it, and you're not really sure what goes next and what happens on closing day, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to give it to you from the buyer's perspective and from the seller's perspective. So as soon as a buyer and a seller agree to closing costs, sales price, closing day, all that kind of stuff, generally the first thing that we do is we get the home inspection scheduled. Until the home is inspected and the buyer is okay with the condition of the home, there's really no reason to order an appraisal and a termite inspection and all those extra closing costs if you don't know that the house is in good enough condition for you to buy. So what I advise people to do is get the home inspection done. Once you are satisfied with the condition of the home and you know you're going to move forward, then we'll kind of start the next wave of things that are included in the closing, which is the appraisal, the survey, if you're going to get a survey done, getting title work done, deed preparation, recording of the deed, setting it up with a closing attorney, getting a time scheduled for everybody. Once your bank has gone through all the necessary steps and gathered all of your financial information, they've gathered the appraisal, survey, title work, copy of your credit history, maybe some W-2s from previous years, whatever the case may be. When they have everything ready, your loan then goes to final underwriting, where they put the whole packet together. Somebody other than the person doing the loan, in most cases, is going to review that file and make sure that everything makes sense, that your income matches in every spot, that your name matches every spot. They're going to make sure there's no errors on the contract, things that weren't initialed that should have been. Once they have completely approved your loan, we get what's called a clear to close. That's when we know for sure that we've got a closing that's coming up and that everything is done. There's nothing else that needs to be done. From the time that we receive that, there's a mandatory 3-day waiting period. It used to not be that way. We used to get them the night before or even sometimes the day of, but there was a law passed in 2015 called TRID, and it gives the buyer 3 business days to dispute the final interest rate, what the payment's going to be, what their homeowner's insurance is going to be, all that kind of stuff. So once you receive that clear to close, we have to wait 3 days. It doesn't matter what kind of loan you're getting, there's a 3-day waiting period. So this is a good thing because we used to go, into a closing day, maybe even the night before, not really even knowing if it was going to actually close or not. From the seller's perspective, once you've received an offer and you've accepted it, you've got to wait on the home inspection as well. You may want to wait on the home inspection to see what it looked like before you go and write an offer on another house. There may be repairs that you may have to do based off of what was found during that home inspection. They will collect your payoff info for your loan so they can figure out exactly how much you're going to walk away with. And then we wait for that same clear to close from the buyer. So when the buyer receives their clear to close, we know that within 3 days we can close. And this is, like I said, that's mandatory, 3 days. It's not negotiable. And then from the seller's perspective, we get this question a lot. My closing day is on this day. How long do I have before I have to be out? When you go to closing and you sign off on everything, you no longer own the home. So you need to come to the closing time and the closing day totally out of your house. Sometimes that means getting a storage unit, and in the 30 to 45 days leading up to the closing, putting things in storage. If you don't have another place to put them already, it gets really tricky when you are selling a house and then you're also buying another one and maybe closing on both of them the same day. It's a pain, I understand, but the easiest way and the safest way to do it is when you come to closing to sell your house, you should be totally out of it. You should either have your moving truck out in the parking lot, or you should have all your stuff moved to a storage unit or something like that, because as soon as you finish signing that last document at closing, the buyer takes possession and they can start moving in. I hope this makes sense. If you have any other questions about the closing process, reach out to me on here, reach out to me on Facebook. You can call or text me at 205-454-9247, or you can email me at phil@weselltuscaloosa.com. Have a good week.